Hello students, we have already discussed about the Amazon basin which is in the tropical region, and today we will discuss about the Ganga Brahmaputra basin which is in the subtropical region. So the Ganga Brahmaputra basin is very different from the Amazon basin because of climate and because of the rainfall which it receives. So, as the name suggests, the Ganga Brahmaputra basin is the basin which is built by the two rivers, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. Now, let's talk about the extension from where it extends. The subtropical region with tropical monsoon climate extends from 10 degree to 30 degree north and south. In India, the Ganga Brahmaputra basin is located in the subtropical region, that is between 22 degree north and 30 degree north latitude. Here north means northern hemisphere. Now this basin is formed by the Ganga and Brahmaputra and its tributaries. Tributaries means smaller rivers which join the bigger rivers. Ganga is the longest river of India, and it is originating from the Gangotri glacier and from the Gomu. It has Moyen head streams. The mountains are the Bhagirathi and Alaknanda. In its course, it is joined by a number of tributaries that increase its volume. Volume means the amount of water. Its main tributaries, the name of the main tributaries are Yamuna, Ramaganga, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi and others. Now, when in the south, it is joined by Chambal, Betwa. When it comes to the south, in the south of the Ganga, it is joining by the rivers Chambal, Betwa and Son, and that these rivers are rising in the central highlands of India. The Ganga river system drains Uttarakhand. Drains means which areas are benefited by the water of the Ganga. So the region which flows through are the Uttarakhand, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Now we will talk about the river Brahmaputra. So the river Brahmaputra is known by different names in different parts. So I will tell you. River Brahmaputra is known as Sangpo in Tibet. So this river is actually rising from, not rising from India, it is rising from Mount Sarovar Lake. The name of the glacier is Chemyangdong Glacier, and it is entering in India through Arunachal Pradesh, and here in Arunachal Pradesh this river is known as the Han. Okay, so its main tributaries. Now Brahmaputra river has also got its tributaries, and its names are Dibang, Lohit, Subansiri, etc. In their upper course, the rivers, as you know, are flowing through high mountains, and it is doing erosion and deposition, and when it is eroding, it is taking away the rocks and smaller particles to the lower part of the any region, and thus creating and depositing. When it is depositing these fertile substances to these plain areas, they are creating a broad fertile plain. Okay, in this way a deposit, thus just because it is created by deposition of the rivers, it is called depositional plains. Okay, first of all, the coarse soil or the is deposited in the swampy area of that is called Terai region, and then the fertile alluvial plains are formed by the rivers, and a huge depositional plain is formed near the river Ganga and by its tributaries. Now when it merges with the Brahmaputra plain mainly in the state of Assam, then together this plain is known as the Ganga Brahmaputra or northern plains, and it extends from west to east, and the topography of the plain is uniform. Uniform means it doesn't have very high land. Oxbow Lake are formed here. you have studied about Oxbow Lake in the Journey of River or Work of a River. The Ganga and Brahmaputra's journey is not stopping over here. These rivers are joined together in Bangladesh in their lower reaches before it is discharging in the Bay of Bengal. Their combined deposition is formed one of the largest deltas of the world, and you have studied about delta also in the Work of a River. This delta is actually a place where the river is depositing its fertile soil, and it is not able to carry away anything with it. And after that it is a triangular piece of land which is created by a river. Okay, now we have understood all about origin and all that, how it is formed. Now we will talk about what about the climate, natural vegetation, wildlife and people of the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. So climate of the Ganga Brahmaputra basin is very much favorable for the human habitation. It has tropical monsoon type of climate. That means it has distinct season for summer, winter and rainy. And rainfall is also not uniform. It has in different parts of India we receive different amount of rainfall. The winters are cold and dry. The summers are hot and wet, and the winters are cold and dry. What is the natural vegetation? Variety of natural vegetation is found here, and tropical deciduous forest, tropical evergreen forests are found here, and some coniferous in the highlands are found here. Mangrove forest, which is unique type of vegetation, is found here. The mangrove forests are found in the delta region, where it is known as Sundarbans. The Sundarbans is actually because of the Sundari tree which is grown here. Okay, and these trees are actually adapted themselves to grow in the clayey and saline water. Most of the forests of the river basin have been cleared because of the agriculture. As it is plain land, and plain land are very much favorable for the agricultural purpose, so most of the forest is being cleared to do agriculture. What about the wildlife? The wildlife, it is also very rich in wildlife. The Royal Bengal tiger is very famous, which is found in Sundarbans. The one-horned rhinoceros is found in the Kaziranga forest in Brahmaputra basin, and you all know that we have discussed it that most of the forests have been converted into national parks, so these animals are protected over here. There are some aquatic animals. Aquatic animals means the animals which are living in the water are also found, like crocodiles, alligators, turtles and the Gangetic dolphin, which is as well as susu or blind dolphin are found in the lower reaches. Okay. Now we will talk about the people of the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. As you know that the land is very much favorable for agriculture. It has flat land, so it has very much scope for development. So the favorable elements of the environmental factors which are very much favorable for the dense population of the Ganga Brahmaputra basin are the favorable climate, flat fertile alluvial soil or plains, and availability of water. So main diet of the people are rice and fish, because rice is grown here because rainfall is very good here, and fish because so many rivers, so fish is also very easily available. Here agriculture is the main occupation, and in areas of high landfall paddy is the main crop. Paddy means rice. While in the drier waste wheat dominates. The areas which are drier, that means receive less rainfall, wheat is mainly grown. Maize, barley, millets are the other type of food grains which are grown in northern plain. Commercial crops are also grown like jute, tea, sugarcane, oil seeds, etc. In sugarcane is basically grown in Uttar Pradesh, and jute is in West Bengal, Bihar and Assam and all that, and tea is grown in the higher altitude areas like so basically the main occupation of the people here is agriculture. Other than agriculture, they take actually three types of crops are being taken here: the Rabi crop, the Kharif crop and the Zaid crop. Kharif crop is the summer crop which is grown in the summer season, and the Rabi crop is the winter crop which is grown in the winter season, and Zaid is the crop which is grown in between these two crops. So Kharif crop example is rice, and the Rabi crop example is wheat. So this is all about the agriculture of people, and what is the occupation of the people. Okay, so because of the flat land, because of the availability of water, and because of the well connectivity with all the regions, adjacent region, this place is very developed. So it is well connected with roads, it is well connected with railways, it is well connected with water transport, and it is also very much well connected with internationally, because of international airports are also there. So it is very much well connected. So it all gives very much support for the all development. Agricultural also, industrial development is also very much possible over here. Okay, so this is the also main reason why this area is very densely populated. In northern parts of the basin, the area is hilly. Basically, these northern plains are Ganga Brahmaputra basin is very thickly populated, but where the mountains are found, the northern part, northeastern part, this is a hilly region. So sparsely populated. Sparsely populated means it is less than the plain area. Some tribes live in scattered settlement, practicing subsistence agriculture or rearing livestock. But unfortunately, the use of mechanized farming and irrigation has adversely affected the soil of the basin. Rapid growth of industries. So because of the rapid industrialization, rapid growth, using of pesticides and discharging all the waste into the rivers, this is causing the pollution of the rivers. So this is a very alarming, and our government is doing so much, and it is our also duty to think about the rivers of our country or our region, because they are the lifeline of all the people. Because without river we cannot imagine such a flourishing region. So that's it in this chapter. If you have any queries, you can ask me questions. See you in the next video.